How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Monday live stream. I know I'm late. I had to take a few minutes for myself making a coffee, having lunch before we start the stream, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Welcome to this stream. If it's your first time on my channel, hi, my name is Guillaume. I'm a live sound engineer that has a YouTube channel where I talk about pretty much anything that has to do with live sound, live production, the Behringer Wing, and everything else that I believe will be interesting for you if you are in the world of live production, stuff like that. I cover a lot of, well, mostly the focus of this channel was at first about the Behringer Wing, and I tried just to get out of that rabbit hole in the sense of I like to cover some other stuff. I just covered some RJ45 to XLR boxes. That video just did really well. So if you're interested in knowing how that could be helpful for you, make sure to watch my other video once we're done here. But hey, welcome to the channel. Otherwise, good to have you back, guys. Good to have some of you, well, already having some fun in the chat already. Mr. Neil, what's up? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world right now. Mr. Patrick Gilles Maillot, bonjour Patrick, merci d'être avec nous. Rolf, always good to have you back. You guys are the regulars here. I'm about to give you a designated chair. You guys will have your stool in the chat, right? Budman, what's up? Poncho, what's up? Everybody else, what's up? Hope you had a great weekend. Let's talk about this. I had a really rough weekend. Especially yesterday. I decided probably that I'm old, and I'm too old. Actually, yesterday I said, I'm too old for this stuff. Yesterday I was mixing some of my friends' band, and I think I went too loud. And it was not a matter of only being me. It was a small place with a really loud band. They are known to be loud, and I'm not blaming the band for playing loud. I'm not blaming the drummer for playing loud. I'm not, blaming the guitar player for cranking their amp. It's just... That's it was part of the deal for me. They want to play loud. They don't, it's the kind of gig where all of these guys are my friend and are hired guns, musician for other projects. And because, you start making friends with these guys because, that bass player are hanging out with that guitar player all the time. And they started an original band. And they said, the rule is we want to do whatever we want, music-wise, volume-wise. We don't want to tone it down because, the hardest has to shine. The drummer wants to play loud, you play loud. So the guitar player want to crank his amp, you crank his amp. But I've reached a point where I'm too old for this stuff. In a matter of, I cannot go anymore mixing band with an average of 115 dB for an hour and a half. I can't anymore. I've done my farewell. I've done my fair share of mixing loud bands, especially in the early days when I was younger. I was mixing, punk rock band and the circuit here and all those little bars. And I reached a point in my life where I'm on my way to 40. And I'm working a lot, and I need my ears. Today I'm still ringing. It's been more than 12 hours, and the show is done, and my ears are still shot. And I'm having some stuff that I need to work on today. I'm out until next Sunday. Well, actually next Monday, if you count that show as work. I'm still working every day until next Monday, and that's something that I cannot put myself to if I want to make it until next Monday and still hearing stuff. I have events, I have corporate events, I have bands, I have actually 2 bands that I need to mix, plus corporate event 4 band that I need to mix actually this week. two for special corporate event. You know, some of them will be ambient music, so it's not that bad. But still, I want my ears to be fully functional. I cannot be hurting from the day before and keep on going that way. This is how you end up in situation where you have, you know, you go see a tour. At the beginning of the tour, sounds great, but a little loud, and at the end of the tour, it sounds bright AF. Because the sound engineer is like affected from the night before and the previous, and it just stack up to a point where it's not fun anymore. He doesn't hear anything, and I think it's just a matter of, you know, pacing yourself. And I think because I want to do this for a long time, I still have about 50 years to live, and I want to work for at least the next 30. So I need to protect my ear, and I dropped the towel. I don't know how to say it. Is this the right way to say it? I bailed out, dropped the towel. I'm out. I cannot do heavy, loud rock band that will play to peak of 120 dB a night. Done it. I'm out. I need to protect my ear to make this for a long time. So if you have an acoustic band and you are in the region of Montreal, make sure to hire me. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Okay. Enough with me complaining about my gig. We're gonna try to make this interesting for you guys today. So if you have any question about live sound in general, the wing, the way to use some stuff, you guys want to know about vocal preset like I did last week, you guys want to know how I approach mixing some instrument, programming out some channel strip, anything, you have that camera here, I have that camera over here. If we want to talk about some stuff, I can show you guys some weirdo EQ stuff that I usually do. We can take a look at that. So if you guys are interested in that stuff, the chat is yours. Otherwise, I'm gonna say hi to Matej. Hello from Slovakia. Hi. Hello from Montreal, Canada. Welcome to the channel. Always good to have you guys back. Before I started the show, we had a really interesting question from Rolf, and we can probably try to cover here. He's trying to hook up together a X-Touch to a wing, probably because he's thinking about buying a wing rack. That's going to be released at some point. Oh, Toronto, we're almost neighbors, you know, within a 6-hour drive. Where are you from, GT exclusive? Are you from the GTA? Or are you from Ajax? Or are you from Barrie? Are you from those places? Sebastian, what's up? Let me finish about Rolf's question. And you guys, Patrick and Rolf had an interesting exchange here that you guys want to talk about. To my understanding, oh, you're downtown Toronto. Oh, downtown Toronto. Ooh. Actually, I need to purchase something from Toronto. You doing the trip to Montreal anytime soon? I need for corporate event a clicker, and somebody in Toronto is selling one. So if you're doing the trip, I can probably give you some money if you want to bring me something from Toronto, which is not that far out. Honestly, it's a 6-hour ride, but I don't want to spend a full day driving to get that stuff in. I don't think it's worth it. But anyway, let me finish about the X-Touch before, because if I start to dive into this, I'm gonna skip. Hold on, MFM. Hold on, I'm coming, guys. So my understanding is the X-Touch is a MIDI device. So, and the wing also understand MIDI. So I believe it could be connected over MIDI. This is really strange that this is not working. Please let me know how things are going for you guys. So. All right, I want to know what's happening with that, because I believe the X-Touch could be a nice addition to have if you have an X32 rack coming in, because this is going to be the next release. Let's be honest here, I don't know when, I have no information about that at all. Trust me, if I knew, when the compact and the compact and the rack will be out, this thing will be out of my basement, because as soon as the new version get released, people will jump on the newer version. I think the full size wing will be kept more at the studios and stuff like that. So I don't think the wing is going to retain its value like it is right now. I think it's going to go down on the used market a little. I will have this one for sale. And I don't know. If I have a feeling that the compact is coming or the rack version is coming, well, actually I have a really good feeling the rack is coming. But the compact, as soon as it's coming, this one's going to be out the door. Not that I don't like it. You guys know that I love my wing. I love it. It's just a matter of space and bring it up a flight of stairs to go out on the show with it. Right now, I'm avoiding to bring the console to show because my back. Basically, this thing with the case, carrying it around in a flight of stairs, you know, I have two handles on each side. I just grab it like that and moving it around is hard, especially after my car accident. I'm struggling to do this. So if I can get a smaller version that I can put on my shoulder, I will definitely use that. But yeah, we'll see what's happening with that. We'll see if anybody wants to purchase my wing. Feel free to let me know. I don't mind shipping that international. If you guys are looking to buy a wing that is not in perfect condition, this thing has, scratch here. It's been used. Probably one of the wing that has a lot of mileage on it, in the sense of I've used it for shows. I've been using it for the last 4 years almost here on this channel every Monday. So it has a few hours, under the belt. We'll see what's going on with that. What else do you guys have to say? Let's go back to MFM's question. After a sip of coffee. We need coffee, right? So, I seem to have lost ISO connection to Reaper with firmware 2.1. Any known issue or quick fix for this? Have you tried to reinstall the driver? Because I don't think it should do this at all. If you have a problem, maybe try to reinstall the firmware. Sometimes, it's not the first time that I heard that firmware does not install the way it should. There's many ways that the software could be corrupted, in the sense of if you're downloading the software from the Behringer website, if you put it on a USB stick, you have, read and write option where the file are being copied from a device to another. After that, you drop it in the console. Error could happen. It's just computer at some point. So if you're struggling, the first thing that I would do is maybe try a different way to connect your wing to an update. Use the USB cable in the back. Use a computer that you know good. Re-download the firmware. Drop it from the. If you don't know how to do this, let's go over this. If you have a firmware, you can update from here. You're gonna click on Wing OS here. Once your console is connected over a USB cable inside in the back of the console. You connect it with a USB cable to your computer. Any kind of computer will do. And when you click the Wing OS button in the setup menu, it will pop up something like a drive, like a USB thumb drive on your computer. Make sure that you drop the new firmware. Once it's there, remove it. And then you can restart the console. Once you restart the console, it should upgrade to the new firmware. It should upgrade to 2.1. So make sure to do it this way. Sometimes it's gonna fix issues because the firmware could have an error somewhere, not working properly. So make sure to double check that. Patrick said, no issue with Reaper on my side. I've been updating the Wing and the Wing Automate application, and it worked with Reaper intensively, so no issue. Yeah, I believe if it was a common issue, Patrick would know. Same with the person who beta tested with you. Okay, okay, good. So yeah, give that a try. A new update, maybe an option. All right. Moving on. I have problem after firmware. Just reinstalled the driver on my Windows PC and everything worked fine. Yep. That's the thing. You guys hate me for this, but I'm a Mac guy, and this is the kind of stuff where, especially doing professional work as a sound engineer, I believe the Mac route, and you guys can argue with this. I believe the Mac route is a better option for different reasons. But one is knowing the hardware that you're going to use paired with the software that you're going to use, pair with the other hardware that you're going to use, if it's known to be working with the software and hardware of other device, because the PC world is so open and has so many different versions of, USB adapter. It's kind of makes sense for me, being a professional and want to work with professional stuff on a professional level, if the hardware situation has been sorted out for me. In the sense of, if I'm connecting pretty much any Mac right now to a Wing, it's going to be detected right away. Version that were released after the Wing, of course, maybe, if anybody's still running an iSierra Mac 4.1 up there and it's having, problem connecting with the Wing, it's time for you to switch to M3. But other than that, I believe it makes some sense if you are working with professional application in the professional workspace. Get a Mac, you know what kind of hardware you're gonna get. I know it's more expensive, but it's designed, the software is designed to make that hardware work, and it's been tested with a lot of people with the exact same hardware and exact same software to work with other hardware and software. Because the Wing is hardware and software. It's the same thing. I'm throwing this out, but eventually in the future, if the Wing's getting dropped, somebody could write could extract and reverse engineer the software and keep doing firmware update on that thing. And you can probably just upload, do an update and drop a new firmware on it. I don't see any reason why it would not do this. Maybe, it's been luck in some way, but it's been proven many, many times that it doesn't, take a lot of effort to make software that are not supposed to run on some device or run on some device. So eventually somebody can come up with a alternative version of the Wing software or the Midas Pro series. Actually, I'm thinking about this one since I'm using the Midas Pro series. I love those console. I wish, there's some bug fix or some stuff that could be implemented on it, and if I had knowledge and if I knew how to do this, I would definitely do a update version for the Pro series, because I love my Pro 1. These sound amazing. Pro 1s, Pro 2, but there's some tweak that I would like to get. I would like to get a expander instead of only the 3-gate option. So could I replace one of the option there for a gate, or could I replace one of the gate option for an expander? Could I do some other stuff? I don't know. I don't know how difficult would that be. I don't know if it's just a matter of the software, if it has to do with the audio DSP. But I know for sure that the Wing is going to be supported for a long time. It's going to have updates for a while. But maybe 10 years from now, somebody will come up with a new firmware. Because at some point, this whole interface is just a Linux interface. I believe it's based on Linux software. So it could be cracked, open source. I don't know. I don't know if it's open source or not. It's probably not open source in the sense that we're thinking of open source software, right? This is probably proprietary by Behringer, so we'll see what's going on. But this is an option. Just know that it could be done at some point in the future. I would say do not enventure yourself in making your own version of the Wing firmware, but once it's getting dropped in a few years, some people maybe in the know will be able to keep working on that stuff. I know it's been happening with some, legacy software. Some people like, I know like for the old Line 6 device, some people really like the foot controller, and they were flashing EEPROM back then to place in some pedal, and they had new version of firmware update. Basically, back in the day was you taking the chip out and placing a new one. Some people were doing that, and they did firmware update, unofficial firmware update for other device. I don't know the states of that part of the web. I don't know if it's considered the dark web at some point, but I know it's something that has been done in the past, and we'll see. Maybe some people, maybe when the wing, not the wing, the X32 is getting dropped, some people will do firmware update and tweak around with that at your own risk, of course, because it's not going to be official firmware, but we'll see what's going on. Keep moving on. Hold on. I got some people calling in, and I'm sorry, but I'm busy. Leave a message. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Sebastian, is it possible to connect an XR18 if you got a Clark Technic? Is it the DN4816U to a wing to add more input? The DN4816U is the conversion device that converts from Ultranet to Stage Connect, right? Can anybody confirm that in the chat, please? If it is, I would say it's a really bad way of doing it. You better buy a stage box. Okay. It's probably gonna work, but I would say don't do that because you won't have gain control. You won't have. Just reinstall the driver, all good. And I told you. Sometimes maybe there was a driver update. I don't know, but okay. Going back to the XR18 question. Don't do that. If you want to use it maybe as a split, let's say that you're having a band, because this is probably something that I'm gonna do eventually, having a band, using their XR18 for monitoring, and they could send me the 16 input, the 16 mic preamp over. What's up, Dubs? Dream! Good to have you, man. But I want to do this with a band where I'm going to use the wing in front of us, and I'm going to use an XR18 for monitor. It's going to be a good workaround for a split snake, but to add input to a wing, any stage box will be better than this because you will have gain control. You will have, not too software to deal with. Not impossible, but I would say avoid. Don't do that. Try to avoid that. Delta Dream used 2.1 last night. It was all good. Couldn't figure out how to spell the graphic EQ on fader. Okay, we're gonna check that out. Let's take a look at how we can use custom control to make you display your graphic EQ. We're gonna go here in the custom control, and I'm gonna use this button here because I'm not using it for anything else. And we're gonna scroll, and I'm gonna try to remember where that is. Okay, fader spill. Is it there? Yes. Okay. You need to go into fader spill. You need to go, let's say, in the left area. And we're gonna find a graphic EQ in my rack here, GEQ. Basically, this is a shortcut that we'll take from here. Well, actually, I'm just gonna go from a custom control assigned to a graphic EQ, and it's gonna display it. Once I press that, it's gonna display it on the fader. So if I go, it just moved my fader for a graphic EQ, and I can go into my effect here. Which one did I use? I don't know. I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Is there a way to reset the graphic EQ? Yeah, that could be fun, right? And oh yeah, you can use the wheel to change on the screen the fader that is selected, but you cannot use it to change the fader. What you can do to change the fader is to use the +4 button here. That's gonna change the amount of fader that or the faders is gonna be displayed in front of you. And if you go mute, does it? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to figure that one out. If you press mute on the fader, it's going to go to the default position. So if I'm pressing this, can you guys see what's going on here? It's hard to show sometimes, you know, not filming my hands doing something. But basically you could have all your fader up and you can reset your EQ. Just go mute. So that's one way to do it. I hope it was helpful for you, man. But yeah, basically this is how you're doing it. I wish there was a way to monitor just left and use right side bus and channel, like you push mono on another, but well, hold on. What are you talking about? I wish there was a way to monitor just left and or just right side of bus or channel, like you push mono. Yes, they did that on the firmware. I didn't understand how to do it, but they did that. It's part of the new release, or my understanding of some information in the part of the new release. No, I don't think it's swap. I think it's, well, you select mono, and once you select mono, you come mono, and you can swap between left and right, but it's not, you know, swapping left and right, if that's more unclear. But I think this is the way this is gonna work. You guys have any more questions about firmware 2.1? Are we sure? I would need to check it out. I would need to dive into this. Well, actually, I can try. Let me listen to my ambient music, which is coming from my USB bus here. It's a stereo thing, so I'm gonna press the mono here. I'm on mono, and if I hold mono. No, that just swap, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that one. This is not a feature that I really needed, to be honest, since I don't have much use for that thing. If sharing a bus for two different things, not ideal, yes, but sometimes need to do when tight on buses. What do you mean tight on buses? What do you mean type on buses? You got 16 bus plus the 4 here. You got 20 bus plus the matrix. What do you mean tight on bus? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like left for horns, right for strings. Okay, Dance. Man, we need to talk about something. I want to know, for real, how many buses you would need doing, let's say, front of house for a big band. And how many buses you need for effect? How many buses you need for monitoring, and how many buses do you need for effect? Because, hear me out. If you're a sound engineer, let's talk monitors. If you're talking monitors, you have 20 bus, 20 stereo bus. Hear me out. You got your 16 bus here. That's bus 1 to 8, bus 9 to 16. Hear me out. After that, once you use all your 16 bus, what you can do is on every single channel, you can come here. Let me show you. In this menu here, the main send, you can use all your send to mains to be pre-fader or post-fader for that purpose. If you want them to be pre-fader, that's opening up 4 more bus for you. You could do, even if you are at front of house, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 inner mixes plus your 16 bus. I mean, I understand you can need a lot of buses, but man. Okay. Let's talk monitor, not front of house. 8 stereo mixes in your monitor. Okay. Drum stem for P16. Okay. 4 floor monitor. So that's 12. Then strings, then vocal, then horn. Okay. Well, you can still do that and do front of house at the same time. You still have 1 bus left. Then? Okay, then what? Come on. On that setup, if you're just doing monitor, well, you need to combine instrument together. Man. For P16 channels. Okay, I'm thinking about this. Hold on. One musician that plays sax and flute. Could we use a user signal for that? Hold on. Let me check something. Let me see what's going on here. Can we go into output? No. Source. User signal. Hold on. User patch. User patch is just patch. You can have one input or another or any of these input. Hold on. Is there a way that we could combine some stuff? User. Could you? Hold on. Is there a way? I try to think of something. Is there a way to combine just 2 channel? Hold on. I try to think. Is there a way that we could you cannot direct out 2 channel. Could you use Dante? That's a tough one, man. Okay, hold on. That's a tough one. I think this is not a bad idea, Pancho. Sometimes you also need, just want to make sure I didn't forget the reading thing, abdominal trumpet, clarinet trumpet, so we put sax and flute pan left, assign auto mix on them, clarinet and trumpet pan right, okay. Then that forces us to put reverb, delay, esoteric insert, post fader, yeah, that way you can have reverb on that, use beeper as an option. Well, okay. You need DP48. You need that. Sorry. You maximize the wing there, buddy. Yeah, you can chew over 20 bus really fast. No, well, if you have the DP48, you can just... If you have the DP48, you could combine... If you really want to combine, you could combine everything to 48 output. You could use all the channel of the wing and combine that into channels. If needed, you could make that happen. Build a stamina. Well, you can you do everything from the wing. You use the user signal to do that. You create 16. You combine 16, 20. You combine 20 things with your bus, and you let the musician handle the DP48 mixing. But honestly, man, you're at that point. Get another console. you need to get an HD96. You need an HD96. It's too big for what you're doing. If you need more than 20 bus, plus some direct out, you could use a Reaper and a Dente card to combine some other stuff and use all the output, because you have way more output. You could just use Reaper, USB or Dente, and you could combine 48 more. We can combine 48 more channel or 24 stereo source into other stuff, but dude, you're pushing it to a point where it doesn't make any sense. Or you need to scrap some stuff, like no drum overheads, or I don't know what else you have, but or you need to do groups, and yeah, but you ran out. Yes, if you want to hear, yes, you ran out of the wing. Or you could use a second wing as a combiner. Can wait for a wing rack and use that as a combiner, but at that point, it's just workaround into a workaround. Get an HD96. Sorry. Yes, if you need more than 20 bus, I mean the wing is designed for, please excuse me to say it this way, but small act. You're fine to do most band that I know of with this thing, monitor or not. Actually, Wednesday, I'm going out on a multi-artist show where I'm gonna have my usual band doing the backup band for being the band, and also being playing artist playing guest song that will be on a gala for a fundraiser. I will be in Gatineau if you guys are from that area. I'm not bringing the wing. I'm bringing my Pro 1 with a pair of the L231, and I'm gonna use my 20 bus for that show because I have I have 16 plus 8. Well, 4 are those are my effects, because on the Pro 1 you can have access to 16 bus. That's really 16 bus, so that 8 stereo, plus you're gonna have your matrix that could be used as send on fader option. So I'm gonna just use my Pro 1 because it's the console that I'm doing there, and I'm just gonna add up some mono in here. And actually, I have 1 stereo mix left and a few mono 1 for monitor. Monitor are usually fun in mono, but yes, that's about what you need. So if I needed more than that on that band, I would use the wing. If I needed more, I would use an HD96. But to be honest, man, your setup is too big for the wing. You need to get something that has more input and more output. Get an HD96. I hope they can give us 8 matrix as bus. I think they could do it. I think they have the available option to do it. After that, I don't know if the processing... Well, it's a matter of processing. And after that, it's also a matter of graphic design. But what I saw on a few posts is some people ask for bus send to be sent everywhere, the 16 bus and the matrix. If they redesign that UI for the bus, because we're on a bus here, if they redesign that UI, that user view, to have more than 16 here, and if they can do the same thing here, maybe we can have maybe we could have some other option. Oh my god, I just get it. Hold on, I just got it. This is how you can combine some stuff. Hold on. Let's take a look at the matrix. Matrix, map. However, let's take a look at this. On every single matrix, you could create a send with 2 source. Let the cat go out of the bag. Direct in, there you go. You have even, on this thing, you even have option for volume. So meaning you can blend those source. And if I understand right, those could be okay, those could be channel. Let's say you could have 2 channel, 39 and 40, or your auxes, or the AS here could be a really good option. But you could do this with direct in. So you would have 8 matrix. You can take 16 channel and combine that into a stereo source. After that, you could send that stereo matrix out, and even if you want to, you got some compression, insert, EQs, whatever on here. So that could be an idea, but still, this is a workaround. This is not something that I would recommend you to use. Matrix are mostly designed for you to take your main and divide it into a bunch of stuff. Let's say like you want to have your main bus sent into PA, into subs. If you have delay, you take another matrix, you had a low cut, an EQ, a delay on it, and you're good to go. But it's basically a way to take your master and split it out, or to take your main mix and to split it out into multiple stuff. But there is another way to do it, and that would be this way. Bus processing order swap like channels would be nice to be able to change it. Yes, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I believe it's a matter of processing. I don't know if they can do that, because I believe they changing the chain. It's not like changing plugin on a console. I believe changing the chain is requiring some in and out of the DSP, and that's not available anymore, I think. Can you use send from wing to get mixes for mono mode to get more multiple tap point per bus will be fine. Yes, yeah, but I mean, so far we're complaining a lot for stuff that have little use. I'm not gonna say no, because you can always end up in a situation where you gonna need something to be different. But in most cases, if you just think the other way around, in the sense of the console can do this, let's work. What can I do with the console? The way the console is built, what can I do with it? Yeah, I don't know many other console on the market, to be honest, especially for that price point that offers so many flexible options. Let's not complain too much about the fact that, oh, we cannot do that one thing. Let's be honest here. But yeah, I believe the way to combine your stuff would be to use a matrix and just matrix direct input. Keying from unassigned source, yes, I know. If that will be fun. Keying from unassigned source will be fun if you have triggers, or actually, for those of you who don't know, the reason why you have keying on unassigned source is you can, from the wing menu, here we go in the routing, connect some stuff, anything. Let's say that this input has nothing in it. I know. We can take input 6 and set it up, you know, give it some gain, phantom power if needed. And a lot of time, people use drum trigger to create key gate. That way, you know, the ambient noise doesn't make your trigger go on or your gate open. You're using a trigger device that is sitting on the skin of a drum to make your gate open. So that's a way to use source, that use unassigned source for triggering some stuff. That's one way to do it. All right, you guys, we're hitting the 45-minute mark here. I have a really day ahead of me. Anybody else got any other question that we can talk about? Could be live sound related, could be the wing, could be anything else. We're gonna set it for an hour. Rob doesn't talk today. You only using icons. That would be fun if we could do a chat and I have to guess what you guys are asking, but only using icon. No, please don't do that. Please. All right. Oh yeah. Well, actually, to be honest with you, man, you always come up with some interesting stuff, and I love it because you make me think outside the box. Like just the Matrix thing that we did here. I mean, I had to think about it for a second, but yes, you can definitely use this to combine two source, and it's a really good way to do it because you have volume, you have different tap point, you have, you know, pre or post fader for that channel. It's a really good way to combine some stuff. That's why we're here, bro. Yeah, that's why we're here. This is the reason why I have this YouTube channel now. It doesn't make any sense for me to still show to people how to patch the wing. Even if a lot of people still ask me about that, I want to push it further, and you guys opening up my mind about doing some stuff with this thing. I'm not using it on tour yet. Eventually it might go on tour. Actually, eventually I might switch one of my Pro 1 for a wing. And at some point I'm gonna keep my DL231 and I'm gonna add another wing. And I'm gonna replace my Pro 1 maybe with the wing, maybe with the HG96. Maybe I'm gonna head more towards the HG96 just for the kind of clientele that I want to have with those console. In the sense of where you have iron stuff, people ask you for iron jobs. This is what I'm aiming at. You know, at some point, when I'll be a big boy sound engineer, I'll be on tour with real band. That's probably never gonna happen. But I'm thinking about, you know, getting higher end clientele. Do you know about the feature request portal that Behringer set up? I saw a couple things about it, but I don't know much. If you have any information, guys, please let us know in the chat. I saw that they had some stuff available for requests, and I saw on a couple posts that people asks for things, and they replied that yes, this could be implemented, that could not be implemented. So let me know if anybody has any information. I would like to do a video about that maybe in the future. All right. So, anybody else? Come on. Send me something. Yes, Patrick, if you have a link, please post that in the chat. And should I cut this one short? Should we do... okay, we're gonna wait for Patrick to do this while I'm gonna answer another question here. Did we ever get into the bottom of GPIO talk mics thing? I think we did. If not, well, you just set up a GPIO to mute and unmute one channel, right? That's fairly easy. I really need to. Okay, we need to check that out. No, I did not do this, but I know it's possible. I believe I know how to do it, but I would need a foot pedal to do that. So we'll see. idbarger.com/roadmap. Okay. Tabuka mic at front of us. We need to check that out. I would need to do it on my own, out of stream, to check that out. But first, we had a question from Ricardo here. I want to be able to use a second mix for my church live stream, which makes total sense because your front of house stream usually doesn't make any sense on a live stream. Currently, I'm using a bus for this, but I want to use the effects bus that is used for the FOH. Can you send a bus to a bus that doesn't affect front of house? I would need to understand your setup fully, but if you are using a bus and you don't want that bus to be affecting front of house, you would need to use a different bus in the sense of, well, actually, if you want to use a bus for effect, if you make that bus to be pre-fader, that would be a way to go. I think, yeah, if you make that bus pre-fader, you set up your effects bus to be pre-fader. I know it's not ideal, but here you're not in an ideal situation. Your other option would be to use something like a main out, but I don't think this is where you want to go. If you want to use a bus, you need to use a bus from the first 8 bus. Well, actually, hold on. I'm not using the right thing here. Let's select the channel. No. Let's select a bus. A bus. There you go. You could either use a matrix for your stream, or actually you could hold on. Hey, we did just touch on something. Let me see if we can do this. Let me go back on matrix. If we go on the matrix, you could use this. Hold on. I'm thinking about this as we're going, right? You could use a channel as a source, and you can send your streaming bus into this, and your effect here in another channel. Let's say that your aux here, and you could blend that one being on a tap point. If you're using a send and return setup for your bus, if you take a bus, let me do it. We're gonna take a bus. Let's say that my bus 16 is my reverb effect. We're gonna take that bus and we're gonna assign the source of that effects rack, which is effects rack 1. I'm gonna go on my channel here, and I'm gonna go on my, hold on, I need to set that up. I'm gonna take aux3, just add an aux3. I'm gonna take aux3, I'm gonna take the source for that to be my bus 16 stereo. Right now, I'm using aux3 to be a return for my reverb bus. I want to make sure that I do not send this to main. I want to make sure that I have that channel up, or actually it doesn't really matter, or I don't think it matters. And we're gonna take the source of that into my matrix 1 here, and I'm gonna take this one. Tap point, where would I select the tap point for this? Or actually, it doesn't matter. You just go post fader and you make sure that the fader is up on your console. That way you'll be able, with an iPad, to set up your amount of effects return for this. You can understand, this is really complex stuff. Am I clear? Am I confusing you with this method, but basically you're gonna take your bus, you're gonna send that into a channel or a aux as a source. You're gonna take your effects return as a source. You're gonna combine them into your matrix, and your matrix will be the thing that you're gonna use for your live stream. Basically, you're just gonna combine it, and it will be independent of the move that you're doing at front of house, meaning the amount of effect that has been moving by the mixer for front of house will affect the amount of reverb that you get. But if he if he mutes the effect, it should mute what you're going on there. Maybe your other option is to use a different reverb option if you don't want that to happen. If you want your reverb to be mute at the same time, you can definitely do this. That's gonna work, and you just combine them together using your bus. All right, let's go read what's going on here a little bit, and we're gonna sign off. A source mute can be assigned to a mute group. Oh, I didn't know that. You can choose on the link. Okay, that's on the link. You can choose Wing XR X32. Yeah, they're still working on X32, right? Matej, I find the overkill new Neve 1070-30 or something. 1073 OPX 8-channel preamp as option for Dente and recall gain. Ultimate stage box. Well, actually, the Rivage stuff from Yamaha using those preamp, it's way overkill for what we need, to be honest. But yeah. Sounds like a plan, but we need to rewatch at half speed. Okay. Thank you very much for writing in. But this is basically how you want to set that up, Ricardo. You want to have a matrix, and you want to use your bus as a source, and you want to use something else as a source. If you have, and you can blend the two here. You know, you have those source to be on, and you can blend the two to the level that you want, and it's gonna follow. But you're basically gonna use 2 aux channel if you have those available. When I'm talking about the aux channel, I'm not talking about, a lot of people confuse aux and bus as aux channel. Aux channel are just the last 8 channel of the console. So the Wing is a 48 channel, but it's more like a 40+8 aux channel, because these aux channel have less processing on them. You have, you know, your regular input section, but you have no gate. You only have one dynamic EQ. You have an insert point, but just one, not the 2, and you have your bus send, and that's the same thing as the other bus. But basically, this is it. So I hope you gonna watch that in half speed, and you're gonna have a good time setting that up. But there's definitely a way. The thing with the Wing is it's really a flexible console. This is what I love about it. So let me dive back into what you guys were saying about the momentary switch. Okay, you guys are talking about snippet that's get triggered by GPIO. Okay, that's way too far for me. Guys, really enjoyed the stream today. It's fun. We touch about some cool stuff. I make new pat in my brain about combining some stuff with matrices and stuff like that. I need to run. I need to take care of other stuff. I need to help a friend with his wireless. Salut Vincent, si tu me regardes. Guys, I really enjoy doing this live stream with you. I have some upcoming stuff, if I can talk about it quickly. I eventually gonna launch some coffee mug. I know I've spoken about that about a year ago, but I'm slowly rebuilding my website. If you want to take a moment and go to my website, link in the description down below, let me know what you think. I'm still working on that one. It's not it's live, but it's not finished. It's a work in progress. I think I want to add a store. I just don't know yet which store I'm going to use to ship Coffee Mug internationally, because a lot of you guys are all over the world. But I have some ID for some Coffee Mug. I believe they will all be black with some white writing on them, just because I love black coffee mug, and I think they just fits better. So I'm gonna have, you know, some of the classical stuff like Sound Engineer classical stuff, but I also came up with a couple of my own. I don't think I will do one with my logo on it, but maybe if you guys want to have one, it will be fun to have one. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it for now. I'm still thinking about doing a lot of stuff, but I don't want to become a infomercial. Even if I'm recently doing a lot of video that are sponsored, like the one that we did with Temu about the Stagebox, I believe it was just a good product and an affordable version of the product. Not the best, most strongest in the world, but definitely good to do some stuff at your home studio, or if you have a small venue and you need like the cat, I want to be careful, that's the other name. The RJ45 to XLR adapter. If you guys need that stuff, make sure to check out my other video. It went really well in the beginning, so thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching my stuff. I really appreciate that. Thanks for everyone who's watching those live stream. And on that note, we're going to sign out, and I'm going to say thank you very much for being with me today. Until the next one, until next Monday, I want you guys to please take care of yourself. Make sure to leave a comment if you watch the stream in post. And I'm going to see you really soon. See you guys.